Today I'm going to show you how to make an origami lily, and if you stay around until the end, I'll show you a few ways that you should and shouldn't use it on Valentine's Day. Alrighty, let's go! Make sure that your square origami paper has the coloured side facing the table, unless of course your paper has colours on both sides, in which case either side will do. Fold it in half diagonally, making a wonderful triangle shape. It is especially important that the corners line up perfectly. If you get this bit wrong, then nothing else will work, and your lily will be horrible. So be very, very careful here. Unfold it and then fold it in half across the other diagonal. Here I'm just redoing the folds to make sure that they're nice and crisp, which makes the next step easier. Now the paper should squash down into a triangle, called the balloon base. Make sure it looks like this from the bottom. Fold each side of the triangle in half. This step isn't necessary, but it does make a line through the middle of the triangles, which is useful for the next step. Now we have 4 separate flaps, or points, or whatever you want to call them. Choose one and push it open. And then fold it down flat so both lines match up like this. As there are 4 corners, we have to do this step 4 times, one for each corner. Make sure that the points all line up. Now, doesn't that look good? Now you'll notice that there are 2 different sides, an all blue side and a side with white, and this pattern continues around the model 4 times. Start from one of the all blue sides and fold the bottom edges towards the center so they meet on the center line. Then turn to the next all blue side. And repeat this because we have to do this step 4 times. These folds create creases that are necessary for a future step. Fold the model in half from top to bottom. Pleasingly, this step does not need to be done 4 times. Unfold the previous step and use the creases to fold the bottom point to the top of the model. Now this next part is optional, but very effective. Grab your trusty toothpick, which you should always have nearby, and use it to press the paper into the correct position. And of course, Return your toothpick to your Lego minifigure once complete. Now fold over to the next set of white flaps and do that again, because we also have to do this step 4 times. Urgh. Now fold the flap up to the top and keep flipping to the next side. We have to do that 4 times as well. But the good news is that those pieces become the petal of the lily, and aren't they very, very pretty? Once again, we have 2 different types of sides, a completely flat side and a side with a triangle shape. Start on the completely flat side and fold both lower sides into the center line. Yes, don't tell me. Flip to the next side because we have to do that step 4 times as well. I really am getting sick of doing the same step 4 times. We'd better be nearly finished, or I'm going to... Hey, look, petals. This looks different. Aren't they pretty? Okay, I see. Now we need to curl the petal by rolling it around your finger, and then we need to do that 4 times too. Right, that's it. I can't take any more. Too many number 4s. I'm out of here. You'll have to find a new narrator. Don't call me again. So, that is how to make an origami lily. But, will it make a good gift on Valentine's Day? I will show you 2 possible scenarios, but be warned. The second scenario is just as likely to scare away your Valentine's Day date. And now, our feature presentation begins. Please be considerate of other audience members and remain seated for the entire presentation. Thank you, and enjoy the show. So, you arrive at a cafe. Your cafe doesn't have to be located in front of a German castle. That part is optional. You spot your date across a crowded room and approach, knowing that this is the beginning of something special. Once you're close enough, you casually say, "Hi, I made this for you." Your date is so impressed by this kind gesture and by your origami skills that you both live happily ever after. Now let me show you how not to give your Valentine an origami lily. This method is likely to make your Valentine's date run away screaming. It begins in the same way as the first method, but changes once you get to the table. Here, instead of giving your date the already made lily, you casually say something like, "Let me make you something." And you make it while your date watches. Your date will show polite interest at first, but most people will need about 10 minutes to make the lily. Who wants to wait in silence for 10 minutes while someone makes you something that you didn't ask for? And yes, I mean silence. So, do you like walks on the beach? Shush! I'm concentrating. So eventually, your date will become so concerned with your absolute focus on the origami that they will want to leave, no matter how amazing your finished lily looks. I have to go. I forgot to feed my cat. Bye! What a strange person. But you forgot your lily. Drat! So, they are a few ways you should and shouldn't use your origami lily on Valentine's Day. Would you like to know how I made the tiny origami lily for the Lego figure? Check out my next video for the instructions for the tiny